Star Wars: Rise of the Tucker Carlson. 4 years had passed since the triumph of Trump, and for a while, the galaxy had flourished under his leadership with a period of peace and abundant prosperity. Eventually, however, the sun had to set regardless of how bright the day had been, and this golden period had begun to wane. Darth Hillary had been vanquished, but Darth Dick, Darth WMD, and Darth Misleadus remained and had not been idle. They had continued to sow their insidious seeds of doubt and disinformation, infecting the minds of the simple and easily led. Sidious found himself in awe at the darkness within the souls of these beings from other galaxies as he stood by them on the fiery plains of Mustafar. They had pleased Sidious with their effectiveness as masters of deception and lies, but he now grew frustrated. According to his plans, once Trump had been vanquished, there would still be no way for Sidious to assume leadership, proclaim himself emperor, or reclaim his position as supreme chancellor without undoing much of their Sith destabilizing work, and would without a doubt trigger an open rebellion. Across the galaxy, there had to be another way. Seeking an alternative, Sidious, upon counsel from his dark advisors, invoked the dark side to conjure a new puppet. Thus emerged Biden, whose initial imposing figure quickly gave way to a facade of confusion as he stumbled through the volcanic ash, seeking an invisible handshake. Eventually, he spotted Sidious and approached, tripping on his own feet as he came. Sidious looked around awkwardly at his own companions, forgetting for a moment his own menacing composure. "Leave us," he ordered, dismissing the others as the clumsy Biden finally reached him. "I didn't know the border had gotten this bad," said Biden, surveying the surrounding infernal landscape of Mustafar. "You stand on the brink of a new destiny," Sidious proclaimed, concealing his confusion behind a veneer of encouragement. "Where am I?" inquired a befuddled Biden. Sidious, seizing the opportunity, outlined Biden's role as the Empire's figurehead, subtly steering his fragile mind with the Force to ensure coherence. "You have been brought here to run in my stead, across a galaxy many times greater than your own. Soon you will be my puppet as Supreme Chancellor across the galaxy." "Puppets. I love puppets. Haven't seen any since." He trailed off for a few moments, spouting incoherent nonsense, but Sidious allowed him a moment to gather his senses again, growing in his own confidence at the genius of the brilliance of their plan. How could they defeat him in debate when they couldn't even understand him? Sidious raised a hand in Biden's direction, using the Force to stabilize the old man's fragile mind so he could at least establish a plan. "You are now servant of the Empire. Your victory over Trump intrigues me. Elaborate on your strategy," Sidious commanded. "Well, it's quite simple. You see, my son Hunter was a junkie. Still is, mind you. Heck, even at 54, he still likes a sniff of the old white stuff. I had the CIA suppress stories about his laptop and internet browser history. Boy, I thought I was sick, but Hunter's something else. So, in a nutshell, you need to set up organizations like the CIA to carry out the dirty work so you can keep your hands clean." Sidious stood contemplating for some time before announcing, "Very well. Then we will set up the GIA, the Galactic Intelligence Agency." Yet Sidious recognized a glaring vulnerability in his plan. Tucker Carlson and Truth Social. Tucker would have to be dealt with before they could have any chance of changing the narrative. After all, there was no way of controlling the people without first owning the messaging. "My master," said a voice behind him. "Dick, speak," Sidious commanded. "We cannot kill Tucker. He is too well guarded by the Jedi, but there is a better way." "Continue, Dick," spat Sidious, impatience evident in his tone. "Corporate takeover." And within weeks, Darth Dick had executed this corporate takeover to perfection. Tucker and Anakin had been fired from their own broadcasting corporation, Truth Social. It had been rebranded CNN, and now CNN had a new anchor familiar to Tucker at the helm. Karine Jean-Pierre had been personally recommended by Biden, while he still had his wits about him, and she was subsequently summoned instantly by Sidious. Her initial interaction with Sidious had been somewhat confusing for the seasoned Sith Master, with Karine seemingly incapable of providing a straight answer to even the simplest of questions. Eventually, Sidious almost suffering from a stroke as he attempted to keep track of Kareen's mental gymnastics, decided it was best to avoid engaging further and instead thought it better to immediately inflict this woman upon the masses. And so, the dominoes of democracy began to fall, with Trump suffering defeat in a suspiciously questionable election where even his own ballot appeared to have been cast for Biden upon recounting. CNN had immediately began disseminating propaganda casting doubt on Trump's great victory against Darth Hillary, discrediting his accomplishments and demonizing the Jedi. "This is not good, guys," said Trump, his characteristic confidence undimmed by recent events, sitting with a stoic expression upon his ever-orange face. Beside him, Tucker Carlson, now without his broadcasting corporation, his mind raced with strategies and potential counters against the new threats they faced. "I've been here before," he said aloud as he sat in deep contemplation, recalling the events that had led up to his departure from Fox News in another life. "Hidden the truth is by the shadow of the dark side. Master Yoda contributed to this gathering." "No shit, Dobby," shot back an irritated Tucker who was in no mood for Yoda's cryptic insights. The room fell into a heavy silence as they each contemplated their next move. It was Anakin who broke the silence, his voice carrying both the weight of losing his position as co-anchor alongside Tucker and memories of the death of his old master at the hands of Darth Hillary. "We have to fight back," he said firmly. "We need to show the galaxy the truth." Yoda nodded, his voice resonating with the depth of centuries of pain. "Right, you are. In darkness, deeper we slide. Act, we must, before too late it becomes." Tucker rolled his eyes at Yoda's comment before he responded to Anakin. "But how? There's nowhere to broadcast our message from." Trump leaned forward, his gaze fixed on Tucker. "He's right. We'll secure your broadcast. You focus on crafting the right message." We've faced down threats before," he declared, "and we'll do it again. This time, we've got the Force on our side, but we need to expose these bastards and regain control of the message. It's the most powerful weapon we have, and there's only one interview that will shake them in their dirty Sith boots, unmasking them to the entire galaxy." "Who?" asked Trump. "Putin."
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed the journey and are eager for more wild fan fiction, don't forget to hit that like button, share with your fellow fans, and subscribe for more episodes. And if you're as enchanted by the idea of Middle-earth meeting Hogwarts as we are, make sure to check out our series exploring this magical crossover. Your support brings these worlds to life. Until next time, keep the fantasy alive.